Welcome to the Heavy Metal Hippie podcast, where art and wellness collide. Well, hi and welcome back to the Heavy Metal Hippie. Yes, that's right. Today, the Heavy Metal Hippie is talking all about Heavy Metal Hippie. I have been so excited because in some ways I've come back to Heavy Metal Hippie music after taking some time off, really. I focused the past few years on a couple different projects I was working on. And when I look back at everything, I feel most excited and most fired up when I am here helping artists grow and helping people build strategy for their music, as artists, in their businesses, as freelancers, as everything, and coaching people on their journey. It brings me so much joy, and I really find my passion within that space. So I thought today we could have a little bit of a story time, a little bit of a catch up. What the heck is heavy metal hippie music? I got a message the other day, actually, from someone saying, I was thinking Heavy Metal Hippie would be a really cool band name. And then I looked it up and I found you and I went, oh, cool. But now we're talking about working together. And I love things like that. So let's go back to the start. Back in 2020, I took a course for A&R and artist management. And because I'd always really felt like I wanted to do something with music, my dream, if I go back to younger me, was always singer-songwriter, have a really cool, like, garage girl band. I don't know, just be cool musician in some ways. I played some bass, played some guitar, and have been writing since I was little. Okay. The thing is, over the years, I've never really honed in on those skills. I've spent my time doing so many other things. And while I have a little bit of regrets, and you can't say never, I've really realized that what I love doing is helping other people. And since a young age, I've always felt like I have been here to help others. And God, it sounds so cliche, but to make the world a better place. And that's what Heavy Metal Hippie really sets out to do. When I started it, I really thought that we are going to be a sort of record label and we're going to do things differently, where the artist keeps most of the money and we just work on a fee basis. And I still actually really love that idea, and it's like a totally different structure. But in the meantime, I started doing a whole bunch of other things, like learning about online marketing again, where my background's marketing. But if you've been following me for a while, you know my long corporate side was insurance. And so I never fully worked in marketing. But I started focusing on kind of different things, a little bit about merchandise, a lot about coaching for creatives, coaching bands, not only like personal coaching, but more on a business coaching perspective. And I either do group or solo coaching so we can help build your strategy together. And I also started doing some tour booking, which is something I never thought I was going to get into. And yet here we are, and I love it. So I got the name Heavy Metal Hippie because when I was in Canada putting on herb gatherings with my friends and weekend retreats and stuff like that, everyone was like super cool, awesome hippies. And I was there all in black, big sunglasses, like it just kind of fits. So they gave me that name. And when I started thinking about heavy metal hippie music, what did I want to call the business? I thought it has to be a representation of me, who I am as a person, and what I love. And I definitely specialize more in the rock and roll side of things, alt, metal, and straight up rock and roll, dark pop kind of cool things that I've been working with. And so the name seemed really fitting for me. I remember though, when I launched, there were people that would comment, Heavy Metal Hippie, that doesn't work. That's not a real thing. Those don't go together. This is stupid. And you know what? It has been 6 years since I set up the company, and people are going, oh, hell yeah, Heavy Metal Hippie. I get it. I love it. To me, this is the reminder that sometimes your first instinct is your best instinct. And it's just a delight. So over the last few years, even though we planned to be a full-on record label, things kind of changed, and we ended up being more like assisted DIY. I am such a strong believer in the fact that you don't need a label as early as you think. You don't need a manager as early as you think. But what you do need is somebody to give you advice. Somebody that will help you make connections. Yeah, I know managers do that, but sometimes you don't need a full-time manager. You just need somebody to advise you. Maybe they'll help you get some connections. Maybe they'll help you with the little pieces, because my goal is all these really great artists starting out is elevate you. I want you to succeed in your own way. And I think it starts with us when we have a consultation with people. We always want to know, first and foremost, what is the dream? Of course, we want to know where we're at right now, but what's the dream? Because there are so many different dreams, if you will, and none of them are wrong. None of them are better than the others, but they all fit for specific people. So sometimes it's straight up, we want to be the biggest rock band on the planet. And that's really cool. Sometimes it's people being like, you know what, I want to play like 4 weekend shows through the year because I love my full-time job, but I also want to get out there, but I just need help getting out there a little bit more. Sometimes that's the goal. And sometimes it's like, I want to spend my holidays on tour. I want to be able to make music and, again, play local evenings a few times a year and tour the UK. Cool. Nothing's wrong with any of them, but you don't plan for the future if you don't know where you want to go. And so we help get super clear on that, super clear where we're started, super clear where we're going, and we start to develop a plan of how we're going to get there together. So while we offer actually quite a few services, one of the things that I love doing is if people aren't ready to start into like a full-on, we have a coaching membership, right? Which is monthly calls and things like that. You can do it in a group. It's maximum 10 people, and we get together, we chat for the hour. We'll have little WhatsApp groups that we can all connect in, bounce ideas off each other and everything like that, and get advice throughout the month. That's great. We have solo coaching, so that gives you a couple hours of straight up coaching one-on-one, as well as if you need to send a message, you need to ask some extra questions, you want to hop on a quick call just to pick my brain, great. We do that too. So we've got it set up in a way that you can get exactly what you need, no matter what your budget is. But one thing that we do for people who aren't ready for either is that they just go, hey, give me a snapshot of where we're at right now. All right. And I'll go through, I will look at all of your online assets, check everything out, see what you've done for performances before, kind of put everything together as my own little assessment of where you're at, and a little small write-up of strategy. And I love doing these for people because it can be like a really good jumping point to figure out, so this is what it actually looks like. Because it's hard when you're analyzing all those things by yourself to really get a good picture of what are we doing and what should we be doing. We also do a whole bunch of social media support where we can run your whole campaigns. We can manage your online communities, and we do podcast production, and like there's just a bunch of different things that we've been up to lately. And what makes me happier than anything is that I see people coming out with a plan, how they're going to grow their business, how they are going to grow as an artist, feeling more confident, feeling lighter, and not so overwhelmed about the whole process. And for me, it's so rewarding seeing people take steps closer and closer to their dreams. That's what it's really all about for me, because nothing feels better than knowing that you are on the right path to your journey for your growth and the dreams that you've always had. The best part is, even though we are heavy metal hippie music, we actually work with a lot more than just musicians. We've worked with visual artists. We've worked with guitar teachers and all sorts of freelance creators, whether they're writers or, like I say, or artists or small business owners. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of it comes down to the same basic principles for growth and how you strategize for your future. I'm also really excited that over the next while, we are going to start launching different webinars and workshops that you can sign on to. And there is just so much talent out there. People are doing amazing things in the arts. People are doing amazing things creatively, and they deserve to be seen. I'm sure you can think of a lot of smaller artists in your life that you're like, yeah, these people deserve to be huge. You know, if you have big dreams and you have goals and you want help to achieve them, I'm so excited. Like, let's talk and let's figure out your path forward, because I would be so honored to discuss your hopes and dreams and help you make them a reality. If you have questions, just pop a note in the comment or drop me a line at info@heavymetalhippiemusic.com, or give us a follow at Heavy Metal Hippie Music on Instagram or Facebook, and let's keep in touch. Peace and love. See you later. Thanks so much for joining us on the Heavy Metal Hippie podcast. For more ways to connect, go to www.healthymetalhippie.com.